Well, prior to the implementation, we were dealing with a legacy system way back in 2014 with an in-house customized HR solution. At that point in time, it served the purpose. We were a company of about 300 to 400 employees, and it served the purpose. As the business evolved and our organization grew, we felt that we needed a more integrated program or platform to support our employee needs. And we embarked on this journey. Prior to SAP SuccessFactors, we had an experiment, if I might use the word, with Microsoft Talent, and subsequent to it, we decided on SAP SuccessFactors.
SAP SuccessFactors, I think one of the reasons we selected it is because it's a very reliable brand. And I have worked with SuccessFactors previously. So when I heard that we are going to be implementing SuccessFactors, I was like, yay, it's good, because there's a lot of, the whole ecosystem is the end-to-end suite. So it's sort of it makes the employee experience much more seamless, because it has a lot of these integrated solutions, and it really works for us in terms of HR, because we have multiple processes, and like what Raymond mentioned, we've got so many different systems as well. So this gave us an opportunity to also enhance the employee experience. So yeah, it's a great brand. Also, in terms of confidentiality, security, I think it also creates that mark. So that's one of the reasons why we selected SuccessFactors.
We had various criteria, because we had this journey, and we wanted to ensure that the next step we take with regards to HR system, it has to be foolproof, it has to be secure, it has to be user friendly, and of course cloud based. So there were some options, Workday being one of the other options. But when we looked at the cost, when we looked at the overall aesthetics and the fact that SAP SuccessFactors could provide us with future integration with payroll and other functions, we made an easy decision, I believe. Integrating your HR system and dealing with historical and legacy data, nobody expected the journey to be smooth. But what actually kind of drove us on was basically the close collaboration with the project team. The Rolling Arrays project team, we had weekly meetings, we had daily check-ins during the pilot testing period. So it was basically the support, the collaborative nature of their teams that helped us through our journey.
I think one of the biggest ones is streamlining the processes, because we had processes, but there was a lot of breakdown because it was manual. Then there was a bit of automation. Again, I don't push back on emphasizing employee experience. So it really helped us streamline quite a lot of processes. I think it's also very modern looking. So, in terms of the previous system that we were using, a lot of people, the feedback we got from employees was that it's also quite user friendly. It has helped in enhancing the process, which was quite cumbersome previously as well. So for me, the biggest one was it helped enable the streamlining of the entire process.
There were several modules. There were phase one. We are currently at phase one. We actually subscribed to the Employee Core Central, which is the foundation of the system. And then we took the performance management and succession planning module as well. And of course, the basic time management module. Now, the outcome has been, the journey is still there. We are in a state of speaking to our users, gaining feedback from our employees. But the initial outcome has been encouraging, has been positive. As Shaheen rightfully pointed out, the overall aesthetics, the flow, and basically the fact that employees can actually use this to manage their time, to manage their work processes, to send in a request for a headcount. It actually provides an integrated platform for them to perform their day-to-day activities. And managers have also responded positively, because previously they had to move into different systems to request or to submit requisitions. But with SAP SuccessFactors, they have a one-shop solution for them to kind of undertake their managerial responsibilities. So yes.
I think it's too early at the moment, because we've just implemented the system, I think in February, we went live. But like what Raymond mentioned, the response has been good. The feedback has been good. So I think it's also a new system. People are still getting adapted to it. It's all about change. But like I said, it's the buy-in has been a bit easy, and I think we'll really start to see the impact as we go. But in terms of processes, I would say it has already had an impact where people see it being quite seamless.
I think a distinct advantage, or rather benefit, is the fact that this year we were able to get all our employees. We've always had this challenge with regards to setting KPIs. It falls off the track and managers get distracted, especially during the hectic period that we had in the past. But with SAP SuccessFactors and with Shaheen's guidance, we were able to get employees to put in their KPIs, to have that discussion and conversation with their managers. And I must say the system has been useful, extremely useful in guiding us in having those conversations with our managers. So there's some distinct outcomes, positive outcomes that I've experienced since implementation. So it's like a relationship. So in the early days, way back in August, when we embarked on this journey with rolling arrays, because in our team, we tend to be quite transactional, and we only had one or two resources that had this project management experience. So that initial forming stage, we had to understand the scope. We had to understand what are our responsibilities as a client and what are our expectations towards our partner. So once we got the scope right, and then we went on into a testing environment, we went into an environment where we were having discussions for rolling arrays to understand us better, how our organizations operate, what are our relationships. So as in any relationship, we started to get to know each other. But as we moved on into the journey, I think they were able to understand our organization better. They were able to customize some of the features to suit the QI group. So it's been a good journey, and the journey still continues because we still have a support services agreement with rolling arrays, and we expect to continue on this journey.
I think my biggest advice, which I always give a lot of companies, even with some of the organizations that I've worked with, is get your processes right, get your data in place before you really start with this journey, because you can have the greatest system. But if if you have broken processes, your data is not in the right place, that change management is going to be very difficult. So again, it's about doing that due diligence, making sure that it's fit for purpose. So you have the right technology in place. And then of course, you also need to make sure that your houses under fit conditions as well. So have your processes in place and make sure your data is good as well. That's my biggest advice for people that are going through this journey.
You rightfully pointed out, we at one point in time, we were under this illusion that the system is going to solve all our problems. But we realized that, as Shaheen pointed out, that we have to correct, or we have to review our processes, and then ensure that the system actually supports the desired destination or journey that we would like to take part. So there were some underlying weaknesses, and my advice is to actually companies, before they embark on a journey, a transformation journey, to identify the scope, to identify areas of where we are and where we want to be, and then embrace technology to take us through. Because not every company would want to head in the same direction. It depends on their industry, it depends on the nature of their workforce. So have a good look at yourself and where you want to be, and how you can partner with the right technology and the partner to actually guide you along, to try to integrate legacy into a system, and that's challenging, because I think what companies need to do is to leave the habits of the past and to embrace on this journey. But when we try to integrate legacy into a digital journey, that presents a little bit of a challenge. So again, my advice, or rather my thought would be is get your philosophy right. Get your direction in terms of what sort of employer would you want to be able to present to the marketplace. And before embarking on this digital transformation journey, because just doing it as just because everyone else is doing it may sometimes prove to be more not as constructive as we would like it to be. So get your process right, get your direction right before assessing the right system to partner with. So we need to have the right. We've got a small team that supports our global offices as well. Now that we are live. There are generally issues with regards to workflow. Certain reports require some filtering. So we felt that we would be more secure by having the right expertise to take us through at least a post-live period of at least a year. And once we've got a stable set of SLAs, we've got a stable process to deal with some of the inconsistencies, then we will be more confident to go it alone. So AMS definitely will provide us with that sense of security, and to also to be able to sleep well, knowing that you've got experts to help you out in certain technical issues.
When you implement a system, there are always teething problems. So we realized that when we went live, there were so many scenarios that we hadn't thought about when we were implementing this. And those scenarios needed solutions really quickly. So AMS was always there, which was great because the moment you raised a ticket, you would get the reply quite quickly and you could sort out those different scenarios as well. So for me, I thought it was a great support because we came up with so many new scenarios after the implementation. So I think that helped, that worked.
I think it's a combination. Since we had implemented SAP SuccessFactors, might as well go with a system that is on the same platform. And since it's seamless, and the driving force is also to ensure that, as employees work remotely, I think it's important for us to just have a view in terms of to give them some sense of a system to indicate that they are currently live or they're currently on the job. And when they eventually leave at the end of the day, some form of a system to help track employee productivity. And we trust that the system will be integrated efficiently and seamlessly with SuccessFactors.